So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this particular session, which I'm going to use to introduce to you what we call auditing and assurance. So welcome to Audit and Assurance, which is basically a professional journey that we are beginning together with you. So I'm so privileged to be the one to introduce you to this Audit and Assurance. And as I can assure you, this is one of those greatest essential subjects, essential careers in the world of accounting and finance. So whatever you'll be learning here, of course, will be really important, especially for those of you who would want to join the audit practice. So please, as we are here, know that we are looking at something bigger than just what here, than just passing an exam. Just passing an exam. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, to look at a subject that will be able to make you become good interpreters of financial statements. Yeah, you'll be able to sign off an audit opinion when people see that this audit opinion has been signed off by CPA so and so, then they are going to trust it. And there will be so many things that you'll be able to learn right away, from audit planning to audit execution to audit reporting. So why audit and assurance? Why should you care? In a world driven by data, money, and trust, audit is the only language of credibility. Have you ever wondered how investors trust the numbers in a financial report? That there are investors who will basically ask you to give them audited financial statements of your business, and the moment you do, the moment you give them audited financial statements of your business, they're able to trust that report. And then, of course, they now put in their money. They invest in your business. See here that they are relying on audited financial statements for them to be able to invest in your company. That is how powerful auditing is. Or how banks lend millions to companies based on financial statements, ladies and gentlemen. If you go to a bank today, you want, in this case here, for example, to acquire a primary school costing, for example, 30 million, 40 million Kenya shillings, and perhaps you are RCM College, and here you are looking for leverage, the bank will tell you not a problem. Amongst the requirements, they will want you to give them audited financial statements. So what gives confidence to regulators, shareholders, and the public? Now, ladies and gentlemen, it will be very important for you to know that when, for example, we come together and form an organization, we have been able to come like 1 million people, we have contributed our capital, and therefore we are able to start a company called Absa Bank, for instance. When we start Absa Bank, 1 million people, we cannot stay in Nairobi to manage this bank, all of us. We must appoint a few amongst us, like say 10 directors, who will be able to now manage the business on a day-to-day basis. These 10 people, they can very easily misappropriate assets of the bank, Absa Bank, because of greediness. Human beings, you are very, very greedy. And that is why we normally call audit process an assurance. Assurance, because these shareholders who have gone home, who are not running this particular institution on a day-to-day basis, they would want comfort that the directors who are there are doing the right thing. When they prepare their financial statements, they would want these financial statements, the shareholders would want the financial statements to be audited. Audited by who? This third party. And that is why I told you that audit is a tripartite model. It has got 3 parties. We have the users of the financial statements, who in most cases will be the shareholders. Then we have the preparers, who are who? The directors. And then we have the auditor, who completes the cycle of 3 parties. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the answer why people would really trust all this is because of audit. Audit brings independent assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatement, whether caused by fraud or error. Auditors don't just check books, they build trust. That is why I'm happily running an audit firm by the name of Aura and Co. Once you guys start getting into senior positions, I would always remember, I would always want to remind you of my audit firm that, of course, does audit services, tax services, and advisory. All right. Not today, but once you start becoming CFOs. Audit is not about ticking just check boxes. It's about exercising judgment. We must be very skeptical where we doubt everything we're being told, so we can have a questioning mind and responsibility. Understanding audit as a journey, not just a paper. Think of audit like a project with three major phases. Plan it, so the planning phase, you need to understand your client. Assess risks, build what we call an audit strategy, build what we call a detailed audit plan. After planning, ladies and gentlemen, you do it. Execution phase, you test internal controls, perform what we call substantive procedures, and gather audit evidence. From there, ladies and gentlemen, what do? You report it, the reporting phase. So reporting phase is all about you giving what we call an audit opinion and communicating the findings in the audit report. So what you're saying as we begin this exercise, ladies and gentlemen, is that audit is just like any other project. Projects will have three key phases. The first case is how you plan. Then you go to execution. Then you go to reporting. Just like building a house, you don't start laying bricks without a blueprint. You need a plan, architectural plan, and you don't walk away without documenting what you have done. You must always have a clerk of works who every day is able to say that we have done this, we have been able to reach here, we've been able to reach this milestone. There must be reporting. The same case, auditing, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a lot of what here? Reporting. So the structure of the audit and assurance syllabus, it's summarized into 5 sections. We have what we call audit framework and ethics as part A, where we shall be able to look at the rules of audit, standards, and ethical behavior. Then B, we have planning and risk assessment, where we'll be able to show you how you need to understand your clients, the fraud risks, audit plan. C, internal controls evaluation, where we'll be able to look at system testing. Basically, we are answering the questions, are controls working? Then D, audit evidence and procedures. How do we gather facts? How do we get to test those transactions and the balances? And then we go to reporting, giving your opinion. Is it a qualified or a clean report? So this structure mirrors real audit work in top firms like PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, Aura & Co, and Ernst & Young. I believe this will be also among the top very, very soon. When we talk of a big 4, we should be talking of big 5. I mean, we have that capacity, we have the knowledge, we should be up there. The real power of audit, more than just passing exams. Audit will teach you how to think critically, how to question what you are told because of what we call professional skepticism, your doubting, questioning mind, how to navigate uncertainty with the professional skepticism, how to give assurance that something is true, a rare and powerful skill. So on top of passing your exams, you will be able to learn so many other skills here. So audit isn't just a paper, it's a mindset. It's a standard of integrity because of the credibility that we give whenever we sign on a document. So final words of encouragement, ladies and gentlemen, this journey won't just prepare you for exams. It will prepare you for a career. Whether you become an external auditor, internal auditor, risk consultant, or financial controller, the foundation will start right from this semester as I teach you this paper. Auditors are the guardians of truth in business. Auditors are the guardians of truth in business. Stick with me throughout this course. I would expect you to ask questions, practice often, stay curious. That's what we call professional skepticism. Ask questions. If you give your best, I promise you'll be able to walk away with not just a pass, but with a professional confidence. So, ladies and gentlemen, This first lesson was basically for introducing this great subject and tell you what exactly we shall be doing. So shall be able to continue from there in our next session. Thank you. So, and of course, those of you who would want to reach out to us at RCM for purposes of studying with us, our number is 0793 555 000. You'll be able to do ACCA with us, CPA, CPFM, ATD, CAMS, CIFA, and CS. Thank you so much. Bye.